Welcome back. It's a rather windy day, a little bit of a break in the rain, which I seem to be saying I'm back out in the garden in between the rain a lot this year. So for those of you that watch both channels, some of you will know I've got another channel that's more to do with my sport and my dogs. I'm supposed to be having a bit of a rest this morning because I did the memory walk to raise money for Alzheimer's yesterday, and even though it wasn't a very long one for me, only 8 miles, there was that many people there. It took us all day, and we were just kind of queuing down paths around Clumber Park all day. It wasn't the most enjoyable experience, to tell you the truth, but the pup enjoyed it, and he got out and he met lots of other dogs and lots of people, and it gave him a good experience. So I'm not actually going to be doing any work today, but I would just like to show you what I've been doing in the last few days in between the rain. I've put my wind muff on my GoPro, so if you can see, well, you probably can't see it on these trees, but on the big trees over there, they're blowing about like 10. Hopefully the sound will be okay. For those of you that saw that I dug up, so I can't talk straight this morning, dug up my clematis because they weren't doing very well, and this one's fell down there, but I've put them in here, and this one's really come back, and this one I didn't have any roots on it at all, and I think this one's my favourite one. It was flowering and doing well, this one, but if you can see just that there, it's not dead. There's a couple of ones of them on, so I'm hoping it's going to survive, but it wasn't doing very well, and these two were doing really poorly. But when I dug these two up, I mean, I've got loads of weeds coming up in here that I should really be picking, because I've put them in some really good compost, some compost I've made myself with the help of some of my worms. Let me just stick them down there, make it look a little bit better. So these two weren't really doing very well at all because the slugs kept eating them as soon as they started growing. And this is the Lady Di, and somebody told me that this is really vigorous, but I couldn't get much out of it because as fast as it grew a bit, the slugs had it. So I dug it up, and these two had good root balls in the bottom, so I think that's why these have done well. But when I dug this one up, even though this one was flowering, it's hardly got any root on it at all, but a little piece of root like that. And even though it looked like it was doing okay, I wanted to move it because I didn't think it was doing as well as it should have done. So I'm hoping next year, when I put these back into the garden, that I will get better results from them. But I mean, these two really look like, because these have got nothing on them when I took them out, so hopefully they'll be okay. Now this is my buddleia that is a self-seeder, and this had, which is still left of it, look, this is the fuchsia that was more a bedding fuchsia, and it was in the hanging baskets last year, and I tried to keep it, but I wasn't really watching it, and it didn't survive. So this has grown on its own, and I found another one up the garden in with the beetroot, which I've thrown away. I dug it up and threw it out. So some little birds have been having a field day spreading the seeds, haven't they? So I don't know where I'm going to put this, but wherever I've put it, it's got to be kept under control because buddleia tend to go mad. So right, I'm going to take the garden and show you what I've been doing. If you can see up here, there's been some changes, look, in between the rain. I've dug up everything in this bed and just left stuff to rot underneath, so that little bit of a pile there, whoops, not that much of a pile now I've trod on that bit, is all the stuff that I've dug up from in there, so I've laid it back down, and it will rot. And the same on this bed. The beans were in here, I've put this on here to just keep holding the weed suppressant down. And the newest thing, I think I might need a brick on there to hold that down, is look, I've moved my one of my grapes. It has got some nice grapes on it. They're not going to be ready. I might actually pull them off because they're not going to get there this year now. And I need to put my big posts in and my wire, but I wanted to try and get things done, so I'm going to take that just from there, and it's going to go across on a wire, and this one here is going to go across on another wire when I get my posts. I've not been to buy them yet, so just put that on there for there so you can see how long that one's got. So I'm going to have that one going across a middle wire. It's not dying off as quick as the other one. The other one I bought because it's supposed to be very hardy and suitable for this country, and this one my mum bought me from Asda, I think, just on a spur of the moment. I don't know why. She thought I needed another grape. I think she took a look at the one I'd got, but I had it off you know, root stock, so it was like all dried up and just the root and stuff, and it weren't coming very quickly when I first put it in, so she thought I needed another one and bought me this, and it's not got a name that I recognised from when I was researching, but it's pretty hardy. It's not started to die back yet. It's going to need some pruning though. I've just spotted another shoot, so I think that one can come off. There you are. Don't want one going out on the side. Trying to keep this this stem very straight. It's not very easy when you're it's only on a cane and the wind's blowing today, but I brought this one up to try and just put it to go across for this piece. I'll show you when I've done it. Right, this is just a temporary measure till I get my proper posts in, but this should keep the shape I want. But as it gets colder and it starts to kind of go into hibernation, so it doesn't kill it, these will harden up. Like this bottom one here, this is last year's growth to about there. So it's done well this year. Now I did say I was going to move this, but I haven't. I can see the nettles coming up from around it, so I'm going to have to get pulling them out, or they're going to be have themselves established before next year. It was because I emptied something in there that had got nettles in, but I couldn't get the roots out, so I was hoping they'd die off, but it doesn't look like it, does it? So might have to move it temporarily, but I've decided to leave it there, and that's where I'm going to put me tree lilies, and I'm going to put a frame to hold them up. This is the other one. If you can see, it's just got one straight main stem, which I'd planned, and that's what the other one's supposed to have had, but because I wasn't watching it and let it grow, and then the grapes started coming. Even though the grapes won't be any good, they're not going to ripen. This one's starting to die off already, but this one was supposed to be really hardy, so it said. But it survives the winter, but it's starting to thicken up already. Look, you see how it's hardening. So I should be able to bend that top bit straight when I move it, so we should be all right. Just you've got to really keep them pruned if you don't want them to go wild. All the watering system's out, so that's needs going in the shed in a minute when I've finished. And look at this has grown really well. It's still flowering, it's looking quite pretty. Still got a bit of a haircut to do on this side. The wind's fetching this down, so I'm going to get up there and cut it all back in a bit. It's still flowering though. I think it's the bird feeder that's that it's attached it to that's saving it. So I just might wait till them flowers have done, and then it's gonna have a drastic haircut, I think. Right, I've moved a few things. So the grapes have gone, both of them now. I've moved the other calla lily to there, so next year I'm hoping to have a third one, another different colour. So I've got all calla lilies across the back. And the pups investigating what I've been doing, eh baby? Yes. Right, so I'll go and show you where I've put things. Oh, Flinny. Flinny, what's the matter? You wanting to say hello? Say hello to everybody then, Flynn. Hey, you're putting me right off my filming, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're putting me right off my filming. Right, my lobelia's still going strong, even though the weather's got a bit cooler. So that's still looking nice. Very nice to have a bit of colour still. I've moved this a little bit. This is where this one's going to stop, so it's going to have more room to spread, and I'll be able to see it a bit better. My apple tree is going to be moved. I'm actually going to put it in the ground. I'm going to put it back where it was originally, over up against that back fence. So we'll move round. Oh, and I'm going to have a section for my mints. I've got a mint there, and that needed a haircut really, and another mint here that needs putting in a bigger pot. This one's like a lemon mint. So I'm going to have a section for my mint. This is mint, and it's doing quite well covering this bank. Should be quite nice next year. They tend to get a bit straggly when after they've flowered, so I cut this back and it's doing quite nice. So I might have my other two mints just here, so all my mints are together. I found that down the back of something. I wonder where it had gone. My sedum's still looking lovely, look, over there. It's really gone a darker pink now. So I'm hoping that's going to spread along that banking a little bit more. I keep saying that, but we'll see. And the nasturtiums have just had a second lease of life, seeing as we've not had no frosts. They're going mad again with all the extra rain. Right, I showed you this bit the other day, what I'd done. Well, I've extended it. So now we have the other one there. The other one's not in the ground yet because that ground's got to be sorted out. There is some rotting wood underneath there, so I need to move it a bit before I can do it, and I was tired. So after I dumped things around a bit, I didn't really fancy digging, so I'll leave that for another day. So this frame works up as a temporary. There'll be more, as I said earlier on this vlog, because this is over a couple of days, this vlog, there will be some big thick sturdy posts put in and some wire to hold it, but this is kind of what I'm aiming for, but with more substantial stuff. And I want to actually, thinking about it, I am going to put another post in that corner and bring probably that one, I'll bring onto the second, not let it come across the top, bring it down onto the second one, bring it all the way across and take it over to the last post and train it round. And then once I've got them all trained round, so it's all the wires are completely full, then I'm going to stop it, take the ends off and keep trimming it so it doesn't get any shoots I don't want, and just make it produce fruit. That is the idea. So everything's looking ready for winter. If you can see, it's all covered, which I showed you the other day. And my next job, I've already sorted one dahlia out. My next job is moving some dahlias. This one's being moved, and this one is being moved, so them two are coming out. And I've decided I might just put leave one colour in here. I'm not sure. I'm going to take a couple of these out. I might take these out, these red ones out, and move. Let me come around here. this one to the middle, because these, it's not getting enough support. And I thought if I put it in the, took the red ones out and put it in the middle, it would help, because it's been on this end, even though it's got these can't quite tall enough. It might help to support them, seeing as these white ones are quite tall, and that would go quite nice with the white ones. And take all the pink ones out and have mostly white in here, because this one's a white. There is that one at the back, I think, is a pink, and this is a pink, and that one. So we might have, when we cut them back, we're going to have a sorting out system. So I've got kind of, remember, I might have to come and label them quickly before I cut them back, which ones are the pinks and which ones are the whites. I'll probably get it wrong, and I'll end up with one pink one in the middle somewhere. But that is the idea, because you can see them from down the garden and they look really nice. So if I leave the tallest ones in here and make a nice colour scheme, then it should be all right. Well, that's the plan. It'll probably all go haywire, it always does. Nothing ever goes to plan. This one's going in a bigger pot, and will be in this section. So one or two things need bigger pots. So these want some fresh compost as well. So besides moving them into bigger pots, this needs staking better. I'm thinking of moving them somewhere, I'm not quite sure. All them gladioli in there are coming out and they're actually going into the ground somewhere. I'm going to have them up the edge of somewhere, I'm not quite sure where yet. But this area's it's not as cluttered, but it's still looking a bit of a mess. But this area is going to be transformed to something different for next year.